The Ministry of Economy and Finance has released the International Monetary Fund's assessment of South Korea's economic outlook. The IMF projects growth of 3% in 2022. It also commended the South Korean government's fiscal policies, which it said had spurred a healthy recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. However, it says the nation's growth has been relatively uneven in recent times. Yeon-seung reports.
An optimistic outlook for South Korea's economy. The Ministry of Economy and Finance on Tuesday released the final results of the International Monetary Fund's annual Article IV Consultation, where a team of staff assess a country's economic situation and policies. The IMF rated South Korea's comprehensive policies highly for minimizing long-term damage from the pandemic and pushing for a speedy recovery. The IMF also projected growth to be robust, supply bottlenecks to be resolved, and the economy to quickly bounce back after the first quarter of this year. South Korea's projected GDP growth for 2022 stands at 3%. But not all experts were on the same page about this rosy outlook, especially as prices are predicted to increase by 2.5%.
It's hard to say that the economy is recovering because there's the base effect. For the GDP growth, it may be achievable, but with prices and interest rates rising, people might not be able to feel it.
As point of improvement, the IMF mentioned South Korea's uneven recovery. Labor markets, some service sectors, and consumption have been slow to return to pre-pandemic levels. Global uncertainties could also increase the risk of stagflation. In order to combat these problems effectively, the IMF had several suggestions. They recommended that Korea should broaden the tax base and reform pensions. They further advised Korea to push through the Korea New Deal policy to foster growth and inclusion. And they recommended bringing down entry barriers in the labor market and encouraging female participation in the labor force to further promote inclusiveness. Finally, the IMF also praised South Korea's green initiatives in areas such as carbon pricing. Yeon-seung, Arirang News.